Well, no time like the present, Gavin, because that's right. We are back, the MLS Now podcast. And remember, you can find us on social media at MLS Now Podcast. But most importantly, you can find the man, the myth, the legend, Gavin, on social media at Lions Blog One. Gavin, I greet you.
The
Hello.
last name in there, bro? Really? Was that necessary?
Mm.
Sheesh.
Not only was it necessary, Gavin, actually, I'm being paid by Bo right now to drop that one. So let me go ahead and I'll
Gonna
just
get
request $10 from Bo. This is send him a
gonna
Venmo
get me
request.
attacked out here, bro. Damn.
Well, don't have so many hot takes like David. I don't know what to tell you.
I don't think it's possible to have as many hot takes as David has.
No, it is like certified
Yeah.
impossible.
A
Hey, how's it going? What do you think about the soccer this weekend? There was a lot of it. We are in a summer of soccer now,
lot of
and
soccer.
you might have heard about it. I mean, let me just go ahead. Let me pull up right now soccer matches this week. Just looking at some soccer, right? And I'm gonna click on I don't know like ESPN and on let's call it I don't know Saturday. On Saturday we had the FIFA Club World Cup kickoff. We had the CONCACAF Gold Cup kickoff, the UEFA European Under 21 Championship, which I don't think many people were watching in the US. You had MLS kickoff, of course. NWSL continues its quite significant rise in popularity. I mean, the NWSL seems to really be gaining quite a lot of steam, which we love to see. And that's just domestically, I think, at the highest levels. You're not even including USL Championship, League One, League Two, and then it just continues on, right? We had U.S. men's national team play over the weekend, and then even more FIFA Club World Cup kickoff, and even more CONCACAF Gold Cup going on. And Gavin, it's a lot of soccer being played in the United States right now. An incredible amount.
Yeah. Every single day there was something to watch for sure, especially over the weekend. It was just nonstop action. So yeah, been glued to the
Yeah.
TV, been glued to the phone to check out the scores when I wasn't able to watch the TV, and it's been it's been
Mm-mm.
good.
You were not glued to the phone. I'll tell you that right now, Mister. I'm glued to the phone.
Okay, yeah,
Never
I
answers
wasn't
his phone when he gets a
glued
phone
to
call.
the phone for sure. I did have
Yeah.
a busy weekend, but I did catch a lot of the action this weekend as well.
Well, that's good. That's excellent. Even so, your being glued to the phone has paid off for at least one of us, which is excellent. And, Gavin, I don't know if you are aware of this. Uh, if maybe you're listening to this and you're like, oh no, I missed a lot of soccer this weekend. When will I ever catch more? You're going to catch more every single day for like the next month. And then you're going to catch even more when Leagues Cup happens in like 2 months from now, while they also have the regular season for parts of that, which is just insane.
Yep, and then Premier League comes back. I mean,
Yeah. And
you and I being both MLS and Premier League fans, along with a lot of other people around the world, um, we get nonstop
I'll tell you
soccer
right now,
every year. It's great
it's nonstop.
until they take that
I
away
mean,
from us and move it to the
right.
European
Yeah. And
calendar. But I like it right
Uh,
now.
and honestly, Gavin, I'm gonna tell you right now, that will be good for my mental health because it, it's amazing to watch so much soccer nonstop every single day. I need a break at some point. I need to be able to ride the highs of Arsenal and FC Cincinnati at the same time. I'm gonna reach like previously unknown highs. Like people, they're gonna have to like make it illegal to follow two teams at the same time because it's gonna be like too euphoric of a feeling. They're gonna be like, "Whoa, this is getting way too close to like, non-drug versions of addiction." So I'm sure someone will do something about that, but then I'll get like 2 months to recover and just sit around and not wake up early every morning and go to bed late every night during 9 months, 10 months of the year.
That's fair. I do think there are lots of lows that come with both of those teams as well. So it's a good
Boy,
it's
are
a
there.
good
Yeah.
diaspora of emotions.
Mm. Great word. Great word. Love the diaspora. I'll tell you what right now, though, don't love a lot of things going on in the world soccer wise. Can I get your gut reaction on Club World Cup and its abysmal attendance figures?
That's funny. I was gonna ask you about Club World Cup, but not necessarily the attendance figures. But I think it kind of plays into my thoughts on the Club World Cup. So I'll start with the attendance figures just to give you the answer you're looking for. I think
Mhm.
FIFA just doesn't understand the American population and one, its willingness to invest in the sport and financially and their time, and two, that we all work and we don't take off work to go watch soccer like people in Europe would do. We are all living paycheck to paycheck and can't take off work to go watch soccer and go sink, a significant chunk of our weekly paycheck into tickets and parking and all that fun stuff. So yeah,
And even if you
it's
wanted
bad.
to, Gavin, how would you get there? How would you in Orlando go to say, I don't know, uh, somewhere that's hosting a Club
Oh
World
well,
Cup match, like
technically,
Cincinnati, for
technically
instance?
Orlando does have games at a Camping World Stadium, but
Well,
but
yes,
yeah, a lot of the population would have to fly to get there. Yep, that's a good point.
which
A
is
lot of
mucho
money.
dinero.
Yeah, it ain't cheap to fly, and no one's taking the Amtrak. No one takes those things, even though they exist, even though they're out there and they go across the
Th-
states. No one's taking
They're
those.
not even they're not even cheaper than driving. Is the
No,
insane
yeah,
part
they
of it.
still cost.
It is neither quicker nor
No, it takes
cheaper.
a lot of time too.
A Just for context, if you wanted to take the Amtrak from Cincinnati, Ohio to Chicago, Illinois, Gavin, how long do you think you would need to ride on an Amtrak train for that?
I don't have a great understanding of how far those two cities are apart. Chicago to Cincinnati, you said
Call it like 300 miles.
300 miles. Okay, that's really helpful. That's the distance from my hometown to Jacksonville. So that's to Jacksonville. That's a straight like 3.5 hour drive for us. So, but you have some winding roads, I think, in there. Ours is just straight up. Sorry, I'm just blabbing on. Uh, 6 hours.
6 hours on an
Yeah.
Amtrak? That's close, Gavin. It's close. Try, I believe, 13 hours was the last time I looked.
Ooh. Yeah. No,
Because
ma'am.
not only is it not a direct route, you actually make multiple
Damn.
stops.
That's
Uh,
brutal.
and and do you know how much money you're going to pay for the privilege of taking 13 hours to travel to Chicago from Cincinnati?
I'm gonna feel. Sorry, I muted myself. I'm gonna feel like I'm overestimating. $300 a ticket.
Okay, it's not
Okay.
that
Okay.
bad,
Okay.
but yes,
Okay.
it is somewhere like around again, last time I looked like 90 to like
Okay. I was thinking like
$150 a ticket.
124.99
Yeah,
to be
right.
exact.
To be exact, well, you would have been extremely close
Okay.
with that. Whereas I can just drive in my car to Chicago and it takes me five
Just get some
hours.
gas. Yeah.
And I do it on one tank of
Yeah.
gas and have some left over to drive around Chicago. So I can take not one, not two, not three. I could take four additional people with me, Gavin. Can you imagine
Four for
that?
one.
That's
Yeah.
economic.
You really got a good deal there.
Yeah. Anyways, that's that. I think that's enough griping about transportation in the U.S. I agree with you. FIFA does not understand the U.S. population. I'll tell you what, it's hard to get into the U.S. as well from just like a visitor visa standpoint. So if you were say a foreign person who's like, my team qualified for the World Cup, I want to go visit the United States. Depending on where you're from, if your team qualified for the World Cup and it was within the last 12 months, you're not
You're
getting
not
in.
getting in. No. Now, when we host the World Cup for the International World Cup, the World Cup, it's going to be different
Hmm.
because people will fly in for that from outside of the United States, and people in the United States will travel to go see those games. I will most
They
likely
will.
travel to go to a World Cup match. I won't travel to go to a Club World Cup. The Club World Cup's a joke. Like it, no one's taking it seriously. Okay, maybe some of the teams are taking it seriously because there's a lot of money involved, but like it doesn't have that
Hmm.
historical heritage, cultural heritage in the sport. to make it significant. It's just we all see it for what it is. It's a cash grab. It's extra games on the players. It's extra games on all the staff, and United
Schedule congestion.
schedule congestion. It being in the United States first is like a complete failure. Like they should have hosted it in somewhere that actually cares about the sport significantly, like a Spain or a England or a France, or I mean, it could have been in South America. I think the fans down in South America would have shown out for it. Um, but no, in America, in the middle
Gavin.
of the day, no, terrible idea.
I don't think they would do it in South America because we know FIFA's all about that money. Where can they get the most money?
Oh yeah,
U.S. or
yep.
Europe.
Yeah. Money talks. It's a good
money
saying.
Talks. Yeah. What's it saying, Gavin? What's the money saying?
Money's saying it's late. I'm tired. And we just started this episode.
Right. Well, we did just start this episode. Well, here's the thing. We started this episode, yes, but it has already been 11 minutes. So
right.
It's not like we've been talking for like 2 seconds. Anyways, Gavin, shall we talk about something other than the FIFA Club World Cup? Maybe you want to like quickly super speed, light speed hit on the U.S. men's national team that played against Trinidad and Tobago.
We can do that. Yeah, pretty.
Yep. And then we'll dive into MLS.
Pretty low key affair, to be honest. Trinidad and Tobago do not have a lot of quality about them, and the boys made easy work of them. Diego Luna, Jack McGlynn, they were out there hooking. Malik Tillman with the goals. Ajumain got a lucky goal.
I don't know if they actually.
It's
they did count it up. Yeah, because it deflected off of them. That's right, and they gave it to them.
I mean, Trinidad and Tobago weren't good, so it should be a win for us.
It should be a win. Gavin, hear me out on this. I think, when was the last time that the U.S. went in and everyone's like, the U.S. should win this, and they should convincingly win this, and then they did convincingly win it?
It's been a while, for sure. I think it's been a couple years. Definitely when we had Greg at the helm. But this...
I feel...
Yeah,
but... having heard.
This Trinidad and Tobago team, like, they just were all over the place. They just weren't good.
But you still have... You got to put the ball in the back of the net.
The game could have been 10-0 if the team could put the ball in the back of the net or make the right decision in the final third. I mean, there were so many scenarios that could have turned into goals with better players up top. And the fact that it was only 5 was like a let-off.
Maybe.
But it's been a while since we've, as a nation, smacked a team that we were supposed to smack. But they were dreadful, so I'm not looking too much into it.
They were. Again, I look into it as they were supposed to win. They did win. They actually hit expectations on these teams that historically we've underperformed against. I think hopefully that's a sign that the players' mentality is locked in.
Hopefully. And this is the first tournament for Pochettino, right?
Yeah. Could you imagine if Pochettino wins this tournament? I don't think he will, for the record. I don't
think Canada will win.
I would put my money on Canada personally, but
that would be a good bet. I think they're the favorites for sure.
Yeah, they're that, or it's gonna be our arch nemesis, Panama.
Bro, I can't stand Panama. They always show up against us. It's so annoying.
Yeah, I'm telling you. I can see it right now. We're gonna get all the way to the finals, and we're gonna play against Panama, and we're gonna lose like 3-2,
cook us
in like 120 minutes, and we'll have been up 2-0 in like the regular. It'll be like 60 minutes in, and then we'll give up 2 goals, go to extra time, and then like 119 plus 119 or like 120 plus 2 or something, and they'll get like some random late goal.
And there will be riots.
Stab us in the heart.
There will be riots.
Yeah, everyone will be calling for Pochettino's job. And they're gonna be like, he can't even win the Gold Cup.
Now the Gold Cup is our version of the Euros, right?
Maybe.
I feel like it's so there's like Copa America, which is South America.
Yep.
There's Euros. There's AFCON. and then we have the Gold Cup, right?
I think so. Yeah,
So it's a big tournament.
it is. I
People don't
agree with
treat
you.
it like
It
it
is a
is,
big
but it's a
tournament.
big tournament.
Mm-hmm. Agree.
Sorry, something
Yeah,
caught
yeah,
in my throat there.
yeah. I bet it did. I bet it did. A real shame to not see some of the other players want to step in, but I'll tell you what, I love seeing some players who they're taking up that mantle and they look like they really deserve to be in the World Cup squad. Cough, cough. Diego Luna, cough, cough.
Yeah, he looked far and away the best player on the pitch.
He looks like he wants to be there.
Mm-hmm.
You need more guys like that.
I feel like he just loves playing the sport. Like he's just competitive. Like
Yeah.
he could be playing against me, and he would be like
Yeah.
really showing up and really pushing hard to score goals. And
He could be playing against Montreal or LA Galaxy. He'd show
yeah,
up and
yeah.
we shouldn't say that because I think LA Galaxy did beat RSL.
Actually, yeah, they did. So,
Mm-hmm.
well, yeah, I think that's just who Diego Luna is. But obviously, when you're in the squad and you have a chance to directly influence the coach to put you on the World Cup squad, you got to show up and show out. And he's the one who's doing it.
And he continues to do so. Yeah. If he's not in the World Cup squad, I don't know, man.
He better be injured if he's not in the World Cup squad because he deserves it for sure.
Right. Agree. Okay. The listeners also deserve to hear 3.5 hours of us talk about MLS, so we should probably get in.
Let's do it
as well. All right. Well, how far back do we want to start? Because there's been a lot of soccer. Do you want to talk about the drubbing of Atlanta United by NYCFC?
I think that's where I was thinking of starting. Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, 4-0, catastrophic loss.
Catastrophic
for Atlanta United.
Is a good word for it.
I mean, they continue. Atlanta United now sitting in 13th place. They are 8 points behind a playoff spot.
Like we talked about last episode, this is the beginning of their away stretch. Yeah, it's like the second game of 6 away games in a row. So it's only going to be tougher from here. And it's unfortunate because they started this game so well. They were on top. They had a lot of chances, and they just didn't finish them. And then, what was it? 3 goals in 4 minutes. I mean, they just totally collapsed. It was a disaster. It was funny. I came back from halftime. I think it was 1-0 when I saw the TV, and then I stepped away for a couple minutes. And in those couple of minutes, I come back, it's 3-0. Oh, no, it was 4-0. 4-0. And I was like, what did I miss? Like, am I reading this right? Did I read it wrong the first time? Like, what's going on? I literally rewinded it and watched all the goals go in. I was like, oh, okay. They just collapsed.
Yeah, no, you read that correctly, Gavin, is the thing. It's insane to me. I don't know. I don't have anything good to say about Atlanta, to be honest. Their defense isn't good. Teams have figured them out. Their offense isn't like, I don't
Yeah,
know.
we know the problems with Atlanta. My takeaway was Hannes Wolf is like, we were kind of dogging on him earlier this season, and he's improved these past 4 or 5 weeks. He's starting to show some end product again. His overall play is getting better, more than just the end product. So I think it's fair to call that out now. He got 2 goals in this game, so well done, Hannes Wolf.
Yep. Monsef Bakrar got a goal as well. It's been a hot second since his name was on the score sheet. And it seems like, I mean, he's mainly a backup now for NYCFC, but he looked like he worked hard in this match. So I guess, good on him that he's staying bought in, if nothing else, because I mean, he was supposed to be a big signing for them and hasn't lived up to that hype, but still working hard. Looks like he's still bought in. So credit where it's due there as well.
Yeah, definitely. That's a good call out.
All right. That's all I got. But there's nothing else to talk about for this match.
And many more matches to cover.
Yeah, tons more matches to cover. Briefly, because I don't know how much I have to say about it, but Portland Timbers versus San Jose Earthquakes. I mean, I watched this match. It was quiet in the first half. I'll tell you that. It was very quiet. San Jose, they get like the heartbreaking goal, right? Like, Portland are in the lead. You're like, oh, they're gonna do it. They're gonna hold on. They give it up late, which just feels like, I mean, which is equally insane because they're up a man at this point. Like, you gave up your lead in the 90 plus third minute, and you're up a man. That's it's rough.
It's harsh because Portland as a team defended well to close out the match. Their goalkeeper let them down, which a goalkeeper is part of a team. He's part of the team.
Mm-hmm.
But
Mm-hmm.
it was a long range shot right at him, and it bounces off the chest, and Judd is on the move and just gets to the ball first and slots it home. It's
Yeah.
harsh on Portland defensively. Now, the
But
red card was harsh on San Jose, in my opinion. I think that could have just been a warning instead of a yellow, to say, hey, that's your last foul before you get sent off. It was a soft yellow card for the second yellow. Huge mistake by the goalkeeper, and one that he will be thinking about for a while, I think.
yeah, I think my one call out for Portland, Mascara is just so good for Portland.
Oh, yeah.
I continued to just really be impressed with Mascara. I mean, look, there's like Anthony has been playing well, right? Kelsey, Mora continue to play well. DaCosta has had some pretty nice moments of magic. Mascara is just stealthily a great player in MLS. And again, we've talked about it, right? Like, those wide defensive players are cheat codes in this league. When you have a really good one,
Yeah. Yeah, he's been a joy to watch this season. For me, Portland and San Jose just feel like similar teams this season, which I know their standings place is like pretty vastly different, but I feel like it's kind of like been on the margins for Portland and it's been going well for them. And San Jose, like things haven't been going as well. But just when I think of them conceptually, like they just feel like such similar teams. So like I think a draw feels fair.
yeah. San Jose are also sort of getting higher up the table.
They're
Like,
on their way, yeah.
I I I don't think they're going to get to the levels that we predicted them, but I think they're probably going to make the playoffs at this point. I think it's safe to say. I don't know what teams below them have a substantial chance of passing them, even though they're in eighth place. I mean, they're not fully safe,
Mm-hmm.
but they just look like they're going to make it compared to everyone
Yeah, I
else.
think they'll be in those lower 6, 7, 8, 9 spaces.
Anyways, moving on. If you're ready to move on, Gavin. All right,
I
cool.
am.
Well, we've got a lot of these Saturday matches. Fortunately, Gavin, as far as I know, no Sunday soccer this week.
No
So,
Sunday soccer unless you were watching Club World Cup
or U.S. men's national
or
team.
USMNT. Yep.
Yeah, which I was. So, just saying, not to brag about it. But anyways, where to even begin? You want to start with the thriller of a caretaker manager providing a spark of life for a team that desperately needs goals and revitalizing belief in a player that hasn't scored consistently in quite a
Let's
while.
do it.
And if you're thinking about St. Louis City, ding ding ding, Gavin, you're
Ding
right.
ding.
St. Louis City, a João Klaus hat trick. When was the last time we said that?
His first
The
season.
answer, it,
He never had a hat trick?
I don't. This is, I believe, the first hat trick in St. Louis City history.
Wow. And of course it's him, bro. Like,
Yeah,
that dude
of
is
course it's
weird.
him. Who else? Yeah.
He's been so average for the past like 2 seasons. And then he had that one great season the first year. And now he's
Mm-hmm.
got the first hat trick in their history. Okay, bro.
Honestly, like, by the time the second goal for him happened, you knew, you're like, yeah, Klaus is getting a hattie. It's happening today. Like, they are playing and giving him so many chances and so many opportunities. He's getting a hat trick today, and he did. And I'm happy
Yeah.
for him because, I mean, he's one of the few guys that have been there since the beginning. Very much deserves it.
Yep. Good hat trick too. He had some good goals
Yeah.
in there. It wasn't like a penalty and a tap in. No, he had some good goals. That last goal was
Oh yeah.
beautiful.
Mm-hmm. good work rate all around. I mean, and look, LA Galaxy are no slouches in that regard either. I mean, they played pretty well. They're scoring
Mm-hmm.
goals much more consistently compared to where they were. I mean, I think it may be safe to say Galaxy are probably going to get a couple more wins between now and the end of the season. Now, I don't think, Gavin, let's not go crazy here. I don't think that LA Galaxy are gonna, you know, go roaring up the table. I think they finish in like 14th or 15th still
They're running out of
because
options.
they
They're
just
running out of time to start that
yeah.
run that they need to go on. Season's halfway over.
Well, I don't think the run to playoffs can happen. I think that's gone and done. I think now the chase is can you get to 14th or 13th?
Probably, yeah.
I mean, maybe, and we'll see because St. Louis just are looking like they know how to score under David Critchley now. They they look fun again under
Crazy.
Critchley instead of
Crazy.
wild when you don't park the bus for
For no
85 minutes.
reason. Yeah. No, it's gonna be a tough. So Colorado have 22 points in ninth place.
Yeah.
So
Mm-hmm.
they are
And that number's only going to go up.
14 points higher than LA Galaxy in last place, with 6 teams in between
16,
them.
yeah. And 16 matches
and 16
to go.
matches. That sounds difficult. That
I
sounds
think
like
they would need to go
difficult.
they would need to do what? Like you're probably thinking they need to end the season with maybe like 42 points to make that. So they would need at this point 34 points from 16 matches, and
Just over.
that's maximum 40. Yeah, maximum what? 48 points from
I think
that.
so. Yeah. So just over 2 points a game average.
There's no way.
So obviously they wouldn't have to
I
win
don't see
out, but
it.
like they would only be afforded like 2 or 3 losses between now and the end of the season, which is like, I mean, that's
It's
literally the form that Vancouver is in, or like Philadelphia
right,
Union are in at the moment. They have to be in first
which
place
is
form from now to the end of the season. So definitely not going to happen.
which clearly it can be done, but it's not going
No,
to.
they have some sort of like voodoo over them. Like they they just can't win matches for whatever reason. Even when they are in the
They
lead late in games, they give it up. They did it in this game. Klaus's volley into the top left corner is in stoppage time.
mm-hmm.
Now there was a lot of stoppage time, but it was in stoppage time.
5th minute of stoppage time.
And I mean, there was the game recently where Garces just gave the ball away at the back. It was a couple weeks ago, and I think that was going to be their first win, or it might. No, they were tying, and it ended up being a loss. I can't remember exactly which game it was, but I remember Garces just gave the ball away stupidly, and it's just like this team, man. There is some sort of curse over them. They sold their soul for that MLS Cup.
Yeah. Let's not forget they're also the only team to have ever lost a match when the other team has 0 shots.
Yes, of course. How could I forget that?
That's going to be a pub trivia question 20 years from now.
Brutal season.
There's no way there's going to be a second team that does that.
Brutal season.
Yeah, just incredible scenes. I mean, Gavin, we are literally witnessing history, a historically bad team.
It's amazing.
It's incredible.
Brings a tear to my eye.
And it brings a lot of things to my eye. All right. Anything else you want to talk about on that? Otherwise, I'm moving us on.
I just hope to see more of the same from St. Louis.
And more of the same from Galaxy, maybe?
Yeah, why not? 3 goals. Let's do it.
Yeah. You'll win some matches if you score 3 goals every game. All right. Hey, speaking of a game with exactly 3 goals in it, Columbus Crew, Vancouver Whitecaps. Columbus Crew win at home. It's a 2-1 win over the Whitecaps. Depleted Whitecaps. Should probably be worth noting. Very depleted Whitecaps.
Yeah, but goes to show you have to really, really deplete the Whitecaps to beat them this season. Only their second loss.
It is, yeah, it's incredible. And think about it this way, Gavin. This team lost, 5-0 to Cruz Azul? Yep. And yet, Columbus Crew, who were in the finals of Champions Cup last season, 2-1 win over a Whitecaps team that didn't have anywhere near their starting line.
Now, on a different day, it could have been 5-1. Because
on a different day, Gavin, it could have been 2-1 Vancouver.
Yes, but there were I think 3 offside goals in this one. Don't forget that. So
Yes, quite a few.
if they had timed their
Offsides and
runs a little
offside
bit
though.
better, maybe they get a little bit lucky with the
Mm,
VAR. You know,
yeah, yeah. Maybe Ryan Gault doesn't pick up an injury that keeps him out for the
well, yeah,
entire
that too.
season. Oh,
So fair enough. Ifs,
I
buts,
don't
and
know.
maybes.
If we're playing, yeah, if we're playing the what if game.
Yeah. No, yeah, it's a good point. Columbus, who are seen as one of the better teams in the league, beating this depleted Vancouver. Now, Columbus have some people missing too. Not as much, but some.
Yep. Arson, I think, is
Yep.
out.
Is that it for them? That might be it for them. I can't recall if they had anyone else out. So, not
I mean,
extremely depleted.
Rossi and Gazdag still played, so
And I think Gosdog got his first goal contribution of the season
he got his first assist.
for
His first,
Columbus.
yeah, for
Yeah.
Columbus.
Yeah.
Correct, yeah, that did happen. So yeah, I mean, look, it's good for Columbus to win. I'm not even a little bit worried for Vancouver, just because I think Vancouver were missing quite a number of players, like not just one or two. I think Vancouver were missing like 6 or 7 guys.
Let me go look. Yeah. Krylak, Gold, Adekugbe, obviously Burhalter, obviously White. Who else?
I don't know. You tell me.
That's well,
You're the man with access to the internet,
those are the
Gavin.
only guys who
I've never
are
even heard of the
listed
internet
as
before,
missing.
so
So maybe that's it. So 6 or 7 guys missing.
still.
Yeah, good win for Columbus, but
Important win for
oh
Columbus.
yeah, they needed it. They got Vancouver at a really good time though.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, the East continues to narrow. I mean,
Yeah.
it's just an absolute. Gavin, let me just read to you. Starting from second place, 33 points, third place, 32, fourth place, 31, fifth place, 30, sixth place, 29, seventh place, 28, eighth place, 27. That is a compact table where if you draw, you're potentially falling, 1, 2 places in the table, let alone if you lose.
Well, yeah, I look at the table. I looked at the table after Orlando's win. Spoiler alert. And
He ruined it. Okay, pack
I
it in.
know.
Call
Sorry.
call the episode done. Oh.
If we would have beaten Atlanta United like we were on track to do before a stupid red card, we would be tied for second with Cincinnati right now. Instead, we're
hmm
down in fifth.
I feel like every single match right now is a 6 point swing in
Mm-hmm.
the East.
It's like, oh, if we would have just like, if he would have finished that chance, or if
Yeah.
he would have, if that shot wasn't deflected and it just rolled into our goalkeeper's arms, like we could be top of the league right now. Like it just feels that close.
Yeah. I
Not
mean,
top of
case
the
in
league, but like
point, right?
second.
Like look at Nashville, for instance, who also won. Since everyone's spoiling matches here, Nashville also won over Chicago, and it's like if Nashville loses and Chicago wins, I mean, Chicago go from 10th up to a guaranteed playoff spot, not even a wild card, and Nashville dropped down to barely above like 1 point ahead of Chicago. Like every single one of these matches is huge
Yeah,
right
6 point swing. That's a really good way to put it.
Gavin, I feel like we're also witnessing some historic soccer right now, just in the East. Like, if Galaxy is a historically bad team, I think this might be the historically best Eastern Conference we have ever seen.
Oh, for sure. So much quality. So much quality in the East.
Yeah, cannot wait to go down to the decision day because
That's gonna be insane.
yeah, some, at least one, potentially two extremely deserving teams that would make it every other year are not going to make it this year.
There's no way decision day doesn't have a huge shuffle. Like there's been a couple seasons now where I feel like it's been like, okay, this could change or this could change, but like the top four are pretty locked in, and the teams making the playoffs are pretty locked in. We only got a couple people who are fighting for those last few spots, which is fun. But we could genuinely see like, okay, these teams are fighting for home playoff, and they're going against teams that are fighting to make the playoffs. And then these teams are fighting for the playoffs, and this team's fighting, um, I don't know, for first place or something. Like it could be
Could
that
you,
close.
or could you imagine it'll be like the team who sit in like fifth place could jump to third with a win, and they're playing the fourth place team that could drop down to like eighth
Mm-hmm.
if they
Mm-hmm.
lose. Like getting it so narrow that like you could go from being a home playoff team to being a play-in
Yep.
team just on
Yep.
decision day, just because you don't win.
Yep. Well, makes for some entertaining soccer.
Oh my gosh, it's gonna be brutal to watch. If there's 3, 4, 5 matches like that come decision day, how are you gonna pick what to watch?
MLS 360, baby. Watch it all.
You're gonna have to, yeah. I mean, whew. Well, hey, speaking of a 360, we're not gonna do a 360. We're gonna do a 180. We're gonna turn ourselves right around, go right back to the episode. We're gonna talk about New England Revolution, FC Cincinnati. We're sticking in Ohio,
Mm-hmm.
right? Well, we're not really sticking in Ohio because this was at New England, so we're taking a short
Yeah.
drive. But the other Ohio team involved, right? Ohio mentioned in chat. Everyone's like, "Whoa, hey, what's going on here?" So, anyways, Gavin, New England Revolution go into this. They're 9 matches unbeaten. 9, Gavin. One away from, I think, history. They don't look particularly threatening. This was a weirdly good game from Cincinnati, barring I think barring the second half. You just discount that. New England weren't particularly threatening, but Cincinnati didn't feel like they were that interested in playing the second 45 minutes. So, yeah, I mean, first 45, good soccer. Second 45, eh, eh.
When you say, do you mean from both teams or you mean just from New England?
Yeah,
Just both teams.
both teams. Yeah, I didn't. I tell you, Gavin, I didn't love the substitution patterns for Cincinnati in the second half. The New England certainly were trying to overrun the midfield and get attacking players forward, and just fortunately, New England didn't seem to have any idea of how to take advantage of that because they didn't ever find themselves to be particularly threatening, despite having quite a lot of possession dominance, quite a lot of field position dominance. Cincinnati on the back foot defending couldn't, when they got the ball, they basically turned it over within 15 seconds, right? Like low block, sit, 10 guys back, call it a day, right? Not particularly compelling to watch. But New England didn't do anything with their possession. I mean, I think at one point I heard the stat was they had 75, maybe 80% possession the second half.
Damn. Y'all really
You
just.
yeah, you have to score when you have that much possession.
Y'all must have just on tape seen, like, oh, we know how to stop this team. We know how they like to score goals, and we're not going to give them the opportunity to do that. And the tactic that y'all saw that worked was to just bunker, don't let them get into any space, and they're not going to get a goal. And so y'all literally got the one goal you needed and said, okay, we won the game because we know how to play against them. And it was literally don't have the ball, it sounds like. Which makes sense. If you think logically of their team, all you have to do is shut down Carlos Heel and then clear out all the crosses that are going to come into the box
Yeah.
because there's not much else there.
And that's a lot of what happened. And annoyingly, Gavin, like it worked, but I don't think that's a sustainable style of
No, it's
playing.
probably
Like,
like something you guys did for this specific team, would be my guess.
yeah. And even then, 80% possession, like, come on. One goal matches, that's a lot of margin of error. All it takes is,
A
like an
deflection.
absolute, yeah, or an absolute howler of a back pass that maybe we'll talk about that happened in another match this weekend. But it doesn't take much when you're only one goal up. So I didn't love the choices there. And I didn't love the substitution patterns either. But I'm not the head coach, so yeah, it doesn't matter what I like, right?
Right.
Cincinnati got the
Yeah.
win.
1-0.
1-0. Anything else you want to add in on that? Otherwise, I'm gonna move us
Keep it
on.
moving.
Gonna keep it moving. You and I are in lockstep. We're a union today, which is why we're gonna talk about the Philadelphia Union,
Heyo.
who won 2-1 over Charlotte. Philadelphia just continue to grind out results, looking really good. Now, I will say, caveat to it, right? Charlotte are a terrible road team. Terrible road team.
Always have been, always will be.
Yeah, I mean, just Charlotte are 2-7-1. They have earned 7 points on the road this year, and they have lost 7 matches. Like, that is, yeah, great. They're 18 points at home. You only play half the season at home.
Wait, what'd you say their record was away from home?
2 wins, 7 losses, 1 draw. They've earned 7
Oh,
points away from home.
I thought it was loss, draw, tie. No. Sorry,
No.
I thought you were saying win,
Draw, loss.
draw, loss, and I was like, 7 plus
No.
6
Remember,
is not.
no. Remember, MLS does it differently
Yes.
because we're better,
Yes.
Gavin.
So okay,
We're
gotcha.
different.
Damn, that's terrible. That's
It's
terrible.
a bad road. In fact, there's only one other team in the East that has lost as many times on the road as
Montreal.
Charlotte. Can you guess who it is?
It's got to be Montreal.
It's Montreal,
But
who have played 1 additional match. So
Charlotte's trying to catch up.
Charlotte could take
Trying
the
to
lead
keep
if they
form.
win the next. If they lose the next road match, they would have, apples to apples, lost more road matches than anyone else.
And this one, I mean, if you haven't seen it, go and watch it, listeners. It's a late goal from Philadelphia. It's another late goal, and they're just feeling inevitable at the moment, Philadelphia, because it's like you see them pushing and pushing. You're like, Philadelphia, they're going to score a late winner. Like, that's just the type of season they're having. And
100%.
the ball's bouncing around. They get it back in the box for a cross, bounces to their guy, and he slots it home. It was a couple minutes past the minimum allotted time. I don't know if there was an injury, because I didn't see the whole injury time.
Charlotte. So this was a deserved loss for Charlotte, because they got to like this late stage of the match, right? And then they're just like, we don't want to play soccer anymore.
Mm-hmm.
We're going to do everything we can to slow this game down, to waste time, to just not play.
That's the tactic everyone has against Philadelphia away this season.
And look what happened. Mm-hmm. You gave Philadelphia more time. Like, if you had just played and tried to retain possession and tried to just, make something of it, instead of just trying to, kick the ball and, send it out of bounds or draw, fouls and just waste time and be slow, and like, the ref's gonna have every right to add time on, and they did, and they got punished for it. I think debut goal, by the way, for Anderson.
It was Anderson, that was his name. Yeah. The
Anderson.
winner.
Mm-hmm. The winner.
What a moment.
It was a great goal. Just really well taken.
Oh yeah. Hit well.
Yeah, just like cut back, didn't hesitate at all, just slotted it past the keeper. In space, no one around him.
It's great. Good for him.
Yeah. Great for him. Very happy. I love rooting for, like, these guys who are younger. Like, I have nothing against them yet, right? They haven't done something terrible to any of my players.
They haven't pissed me
like,
off.
Hey, good. Yeah, I'm like, good for you. Good for you.
It won't take long for a Philadelphia player to piss you off, though.
No, it'll take it till about the first match that we play against them, and then I'll have a grudge.
They are brutal to play against every year.
Yeah, they are. Every single year. All right. Well, Gavin, come to the end of that match. There's only one thing to do now. Let's keep it moving. We're going to talk about Austin FC versus New York Red Bulls. Austin get another win. It's a 2-1 win. Austin scored all 3 of the goals. Brandon Vasquez with a brace. He's actually, the leading goal scorer for the match for his team and for Red Bulls.
What a match for Brandon Vasquez.
What a match for Brandon Vasquez.
He scored
He's got the
winner, right?
He scored the winner, and he scored the equalizer.
Yeah. Well done.
Yep. Bureau gets the 6-minute lead. Vasquez is like, hold on, let's make this interesting. Scores 4 Red Bulls, realizes that he doesn't play in the Eastern Conference anymore, and he's supposed to be scoring on the Eastern Conference team, and then scores against Red Bulls with the assist from Kari. And then, that's that. So, yeah, I mean, look, you can say whatever you want about the own goal. However, Austin's defense is not giving up goals to other teams. They're giving up to their own team, but not other teams. Like,
Yeah.
respect for that much, right?
Yeah, and this was just like Red Bulls didn't deserve this goal. It's just a cross put into the box and it just flicks off of Vasquez's head weird. Like it's
Mm-hmm.
not like they were being creative. I feel like
Mm-mm.
this game justifies us saying last time out that the Red Bulls were fake. Because we spent a lot
I
of
don't.
time on that and like Austin haven't been the most impressive team this season. I know they've been somewhat solid defensively, and Red Bulls aren't this amazing attack. But if you're a team in
Yeah.
the East that has aspirations for a home playoff spot, you need to be beating Austin FC even on the road. And to lose against them and not really create much against them, yeah, to me, that's like, these are the moments where I'm like, you guys just don't convince me. You just don't.
Mm-mm. The You can describe Austin. Their scoring habits are that of Montreal, and their defensive prowess is that of Minnesota and San Diego, which makes for an odd combination
Mm-hmm.
because they sit in a guaranteed playoff spot with a -6 goal differential,
Mm-hmm.
which is just hilarious to think about.
Yeah. And it goes to show like the weakness of the East, right? Like or the West, like we've been saying. Austin should be nowhere near a home playoff spot at the moment.
Oh, and they're not near a home playoff spot, 4 points away again.
I thought you said they were in a
And
home playoff spot.
no, they're in a guaranteed
Oh,
playoff spot. They're in
guaranteed.
seventh.
Okay.
Yeah,
That makes a little more sense. That makes
guaranteed
a little more
playoff
sense for
spot.
them. And even
Mm-hmm,
then,
mm-hmm.
in a
And even
different
then,
season, they're 10th or 11th.
yeah, if you take them and put them in the Eastern Conference, they're sitting in ninth, and they have 3 teams breathing down their
Mm-hmm.
neck. What a
So that's my
weird,
rant on
weird
the Red
conference.
Bulls.
Yeah, I think the only thing that's not fake about the Red Bulls is probably Chupo Moteng, who I think has scored 10 goals for them, which feels weird to say because that's like a third of their goal production coming from one person. And I don't understand how you can have that prolific of a scorer and then also not be a good team. But here we are. They are doing that.
He's been good this season.
Although, yeah, and just as a note,
Lots of
right?
penalties.
Lots of penalties. Also, New York Red Bulls are an incredible home team this year.
Which is so
Like,
weird.
just, yeah, it is very weird. New York Red Bulls sit on 7 wins, 1 draw, 1 loss is their home record.
I don't understand how they
Gavin,
turned it around.
there is literally no team in the league with a better home record right now.
They used to be so,
Not even Philadelphia has that good of a home record.
they used to be so bad on the road for the last like 4 seasons. Or at home. I keep saying my words wrong. They used to be so bad at home.
And now they are the best home team in the league. And then they, are only marginally very, very marginally better than Charlotte on the road. And it's only because they haven't played as many matches on the road as Charlotte.
Dude, if they could have kept up their away form from the last 4 seasons and then integrated this home form,
Yeah, they'd be sitting on like 60
they'd
points.
be like near first place. They'd be in first place on 60 points.
They would be on record pace, and people would be talking about them like, doing something remarkable. And instead we're having this conversation about them being unremarkable.
Red Bull fans gotta hate their team so much. They get so close yet so far. Which, hey, they do have a couple trophies in the bag. They just don't have the one they want.
Anything else you want to add in? Otherwise, I'm continuing us on our path, Gavin. We're making good time tonight.
Oh, you said something about it. You said something about it. We're screwed. We're going to spend 30 minutes on one game here.
I
just ruined it.
I did.
We are making good time.
I jinxed us, and we are making good time. And that's why I'm going to have us talk about a match that we're going to spend 30 minutes talking about, which is the Chicago Fire versus Nashville SC.
You're not getting more than 5 minutes out of me on this match.
Now I'm interested to hear your take on why you think you can only talk about these two teams for 5 minutes.
I don't even think I can get to 5 minutes. I don't know. This match didn't really move me at all. Like Chicago, I don't know. Chicago weren't as good as they were against Orlando, and that pissed me off.
What's really impressive when you say they weren't as good as they were against Orlando? Chicago had 16 shots, 8 on target.
Yeah, but they were better against Orlando.
Were they better against
Yes.
Orlando? Let me
Yes.
look. Let me look at the stats for Chicago versus
Well,
Orlando, and
don't
I can
forget
tell
they
you if
were
they
up.
were.
I think it was 3-0 in the first half, so they
Hmm.
kind of called off the dogs a bit.
Yeah. Um, Let me just take a look here. Yeah, so you say that they were better than they were against Orlando, which is why they had 10 shots, 4 on target against
Mm-hmm.
Orlando, who had
Mm-hmm.
27 shots, 5 on target.
Yeah, they just moved into a defensive
Yeah.
structure after going 3-0 up against
Yeah.
Orlando.
I'm just saying that,
Yeah.
the offensive numbers make it look like they were more aggressive.
Mm-hmm. What is that called? Score effects or what is the word for that? There's like a
No.
fancy word for the way whatever way the match is going affects the stats.
Do you mean field tilt?
No, I think it's score effects. I think that's one way to word it. Basically, they were losing this game, so they're going to be pushing and taking more shots, essentially. And Nashville's
Make
going to be letting them take more shots.
Look, Nashville were no slouches either, to be fair.
No,
I
no, they
mean,
were good.
they yeah,
They
no,
continue to surprise
good.
me this season. I think they are one of the biggest
They're
surprises of the season.
Yeah. They're two star players. Recall that they are star players. I
Crazy.
mean, Hani Mukhtar scores again, right? And then Sam Surridge scores again, continues to just fly up the golden. He's sitting in second place, Gavin.
Really?
Second
Is
place
he
for the golden
tied
boot.
with like a bunch of other people?
No, he sits alone
Oh,
in
okay.
second place, one goal behind Ty
We're
Baribo.
starting to see some separation finally.
Yeah, which again, Gavin, none of us picked Surridge in like our top 5 for Golden Boot. He wasn't on anyone's radar.
No, because we all thought Nashville was going to have another disappointing season.
Yeah, and here we
Yep.
are. He's sitting in. Yeah, I mean the. Can you guess? Let's see if you can guess the top 10 players in the Golden Boot right now. And you already know Ty
Ooh.
Baribo's number 1 and Sam Surridge is number 2. So let's see if you can
Oh,
figure out who
in the
else
Golden Boot right now.
in the Golden Boot right now.
Okay,
Yep.
Arango.
Arango is a
Ninth.
ninth.
Okay,
Yep. Well, I should say he is tied for ninth.
tied for ninth.
3 other players, yeah, three players sit on 9 goals. So, and we'll round out saying you know, those 3 players. So
Damn,
there won't be a
this is gonna
10th.
be
All right.
hard, man.
It is going to be hard, and I think it's interesting that it's going to be as hard as it is because a lot of people probably wouldn't have picked some of these players to be anywhere near the Golden
Mm-hmm.
Boot. Like Ty Baribo, Sam Surridge, right? Nobody picks them to be anywhere near Golden Boot.
Kuipers.
Here they are. Hugo Kuipers is, yes, he sits on 10 goals
Okay, well that's how.
with he sits on 10 goals with 4 other
Yeah,
players.
those are my boys. I got Chicho and Kuipers
Mm-hmm.
and Ty Baribo on my Golden Boot team, so I know they're up there.
Yeah.
God, I never would have guessed Surridge if you didn't tell me that.
Yeah.
Um,
Sitting on 12 goals, alone in second place. Ty Baribo, 13 goals in first.
who else is scoring like crazy this season? Is is
I'll t-
Josef Martinez up there?
Josef Martinez is
Not.
not.
Okay. Diego Luna?
Diego
He doesn't
Luna
have that many goals.
he is 1 goal short. He's sitting on 8. So if
Jovelich?
he had one more, Jovelich is in there. He's got 10,
10. Okay.
which is insane to me because he plays for Sporting Kansas
Yeah.
City, and I would have
So-
been like, how does any player playing for SKC have 10 goals? But again, here we are.
Okay, so 10. So you said Choupo-Moting had 10, so he has to be up there.
Choupo-Moting he also sits on 10. There's still 2 players that have 10 that you haven't named
Alonso
yet.
Martinez?
Alonso Martinez has
Oh,
8. He is not in the top 10.
Messi? He has a lot of goals.
Messi
Yeah,
has 10
he
goals.
has 10.
He is,
Which is weird. Doesn't feel like he's had that good of a season, but
yeah, and then, you look at his, he's sitting on 16 goals
yeah,
and assists combined, which is,
a below average season for him.
Yeah.
Rossi. It's got to be Diego Rossi.
Diego Rossi sits on 9 goals, not 10. He rounds out your top 10, in this case,
Okay.
top 11.
Does Denke have 10? I don't think he had 10.
Denke has 11
Really?
goals.
Wow.
Denke sits in third
Okay.
place, alone in third
Okay.
place.
Okay.
You're missing one person.
What?
No, 2. Sorry,
What?
you're missing 2
I'm
people.
missing 2. I thought I was done.
You're missing 2 people. Nope. You hit 9 out of the 11 people on that list. There's one person sitting on 10. There's one person sitting on 9.
Dryer?
Interestingly enough, you'd think, but no, he's on 8.
Tawny?
He's on 8.
Tawny's on 8?
Tawny's on 8.
Oh, I didn't say Brian White. Brian White has to be up there.
You did not. He is the person on 10.
Okay.
Yep. So you have one person left sitting on 9 goals, and I am stunned you haven't picked them out.
Oh, that's right. He scored this weekend. It's Martin Ojeda.
Martin Ojeda.
He had 8 for like 3 or 4 games in a row. So that's why I was like, he doesn't have it.
Now he's on 9.
Okay.
He's in the conversation.
Well, there's our tangent that extended this episode.
Yeah, but, there's our tangent. And we haven't finished talking about Orlando, Chicago yet.
Chicago v. Nashville. What we can say about Chicago is their home form
Chicago, Nashville
has been dreadful this season. I think, are they still on 1 win at home?
They are a 1 win at home.
That sucks.
I gotta tell you, Gavin, I'm legitimately worried for Chicago because they're sitting in 10th right now.
Mm-hmm.
They have 25 points. Nominally, you would look at their form on 1.47 and you're like, they're gonna make the playoffs. They've played 10 away game matches already. They've played 7 home matches. So they still have 10 home matches to play, 7 away matches, and they are picking up almost all of their points away from home.
Road Warriors.
Like I don't know where they are going to pick up points from home matches because they just have shown no ability.
They need to build that. They need to build that new stadium soon to see if that can help them.
Apparently it won't, like, because whatever, new home, right? Like, unless they designate that, maybe then they build that stadium and they never play in it so that they can always feel like they're on the road and like they just keep playing at Soldier Field and be like, and then Soldier Field is a quote unquote road game, and then they become like, winning 60% of the time at Soldier Field, which would just be incredible.
Yeah. Hey, I'm excited for their new stadium, by the way. That's going to be so awesome.
The stadium looks very cool. Very excited. I mean, cool location. I plan to make some trips there to see it whenever it's built. Yeah. I mean, hey, it's only a 5-hour drive. 13 if you take Amtrak.
Good callback. I'm sorry, I don't have much on this game. I'm sorry.
Okay, fair enough. Here's my last question for you. I think we're sold, right? Sold on Nashville.
Yeah, I was wrong about them to start the season. I'm sold.
Chicago. Did this match change your ideas, seeing sudden mortality from Chicago, or are you still thinking they'll make the push?
I still think they'll make the push.
Okay, fair enough.
Although your comment about them having so many matches at home does make me a little bit nervous, but
that's why I got nervous when I saw that as well, because I didn't realize there was such a big split.
Yeah. Yikes.
Yeah, yikes. Soldier Field's not a World Cup host site, right?
I don't think so.
Like, there's no way. Yeah, let me just look to see it. Do they have they've got a nice home stretch ish coming up.
So you mean they have a nice loss stretch coming up?
Yeah, I mean, no. There's a guaranteed win at the end of the month because they host Charlotte.
Oh, yeah. Guaranteed win.
Yeah, that's guaranteed 3 points. They do host Philadelphia as well, and
although the Charlotte game is giving unstoppable force meets immovable object.
Yeah, no, good point. Yeah,
so we'll see.
So that'll be a draw.
Yeah.
Guaranteed result. Guaranteed at least 1 point is what I'm hearing.
For both teams.
All right. Yeah, for both teams. All right, we're going to... I wish that I didn't have to bring this match up, although it's a treat, a rare treat for some of our listeners. Houston Dynamo 1, Montreal 3.
Wow. Montreal with their second win of the season.
It is their second win of the season. Houston look bad. I mean, they are, which is incredible to say because they're not even in the bottom 3 of the West.
No,
they're in 11th place.
They could be a playoff team this season,
which feels so wrong.
So wrong. Hey, they're missing their star, their guy.
They don't.
Jack McGlynn.
What do you mean they're missing their? What do you mean they're missing their star? I was gonna be like, they never replaced Hector Herrera. They never replaced Coco Carrasquillo.
Well, McGlynn is the Herrera replacement, to be fair. just in a slightly
Well,
higher up position.
right. Well, and a little bit slower.
I don't know. It's hard to be slower than Hector Herrera, but yeah, maybe a little slower.
I don't know. It's Jack McGlynn's no, he's not like the
He's
quickest.
not
Here's the
speed.
thing. I I wanna shout to Jack McGlynn on the U.S. men's national team where he played this past Sunday, who he was involved in an early goal for the national team, and I want to get your opinion. I don't know if you saw his assist for that goal, but I want your opinion. He receives the ball,
Mm-hmm.
great pass,
Mm-hmm.
right? Is at a somewhat tight angle, but one-on-one with the keeper. Instead of shooting, holds up play and plays a high pass across the box to a player that, eventually buries the ball in the back of the net. The US goes up 1-0. A comment that someone made in one of my group chats was that McGlynn not shooting that is the type of item that would hold him back from being a top five league player because top five league players would shoot one on one with the keeper. Agree or disagree?
Agree. Those are the moments that scouts are going to be looking for, that coaches are going to be looking for. The correct decision in the correct moment. It's not necessarily always, or it rarely is, honestly, at that elite level about the outcome. It's about the intention. It's about what decision you made. It's about what you were trying to do. And when you're one on one with the goalkeeper and you don't have a pass to your left to just square pass it and it's a tap in, give it a shot. You shoot. You never know what's going to happen. That you have the highest likelihood of scoring when you're one on one with the goalkeeper there. And instead, it did end up in a goal, but like you said, it wasn't the right decision. Should have been a shot. So I do think I agree with the person in your group chat that said that's the type of thing that will hold a player back because the scout's going to look at that and go, it was good he was in that position, but in the moment he wasn't selfish enough. He tried to make the pass, and in a top five league in Europe, there's going to be a defender there to cut the pass out. They're going to read his mind essentially because they're good at that. So I think that's fair. And I just hope he learns from it. I hope the coaching staff sits him down and says, hey, next time, shoot the ball. You got a mean left foot. Just hit it.
It's fair, yeah.
We'll see. But I agree with that person for sure.
Okay. Only other shout out that I have on this match is Prince Wusu gets a brace. Good to see.
Dope brace, bro.
Yeah.
I loved the goals.
Inside of like 2 minutes. Yeah.
First goal, little
good.
Little flicky with the foot. Flicks it in. Flicks it around the defender. Flicks it in. I love it. Second goal, just a really aesthetically pleasing header. Just like a whipped header. Ball back of the net. Oh, loved it. Great game from him.
I'm looking at the timeline of this Houston team.
Like their form over the course of the season?
No, I'm just looking at like their lineup and like their substitutions. And why does it feel like an Orlando City Outcasts team?
Because they have Halliday and
Ladero. And
they have Urso?
They have Junior Urso as well.
I forgot about him.
Mm-hmm.
Urso was okay for us.
No wonder they're not doing well.
Urso should be 3 or 4 years ago. He should be a backup in MLS. He shouldn't be a locked-in starter.
He was starting for Houston.
Oh, yikes.
Yeah, unfortunate. Yeah. Oof. All right. Hey, match that was great. Great to watch, Gavin. Had everything. Minnesota United 2, San Diego FC 4. Yep. First of all, the own goal.
What is there to be said about that, man?
Magnificent. I mean, just it's the own goal that you always like. You have the fear irrationally as a fan, and you're like, you see the ball get played back to the goalkeeper, and you're like, oh man, like, oof, like that's a hard hit pass. Like I'm glad our keeper, is a professional soccer player and, receives the ball and then passes it. But like, what would happen if he just completely, what if he messed that up? The answer is the ball goes past him and goes into the goal with pace, and the other team celebrates and cheers, and you kind of are like,
You throw your hands up in despair, like,
yeah, you despair. The goalkeeper despairs, despair all around. Real
yeah.
issue, real issue,
I agree with your
and that happened.
I agree with your
It's
scenario where it's like,
it's the worst case scenario. I mean, it doesn't get any worse. As a fan, that is literally the irrational fear, but now it's
yeah.
rationalized.
I do think that it's good that San Diego scored quickly after to just like
Oh my gosh, what a
I
goal!
think that's the
In-
reason they go on to win this goal or win
Incredible,
this game.
yeah, incredible. If that was, one of the worst conceded goals of the season, the Dryer goal is a contender. There's been some incredible goals this year. I don't think it's a goal of the year, but it's a really, really good goal.
Do you think he's intentional about his touch to bounce it up like that? Or do you think it's just he messed up his touch a little bit and he saw the goalkeeper out and he went for it?
I think he just went for
I
it.
I
I think he just lifts his head and he's just like, you know what? Let's do it.
I
This guy's like, he's like a good, like 10 yards off the
yeah.
line. Yeah, go for it.
I almost feel like he intentionally popped that ball up on his first touch and he was like, I've seen the goalkeeper a little bit too far out this early on in the game a couple times. And if I get the ball here, I'm just going to pop it up and hit it. And that's what he did. And so maybe it was just a bad touch. Maybe I'm giving him too much credit, but like, I choose to
Maybe.
believe he did that on purpose to set up the shot. Yeah, what a goal. And I think that goal, it just flips everything. Because think of the emotions of San Diego and Minnesota United. Minnesota got a free goal. They're at home. They're feeling good. One of the best teams in the league. Probably going to go on to win the game, right? 1-0. And then San Diego on the flip side are, oh, they're away from home. We just gifted them a goal, and now we have to go chase the game against one of the best defenses in the league and a team that's really good at counterattacking, especially in the first half. And then you just score from half field, and all is well, all is even. It's a brand new game, so extremely important goal, and I'm pretty strong that that is what led to San Diego's win that moment.
Well, hey, just for you, Gavin, I messaged Anders Dreyer on Instagram. So if we get a response, I asked him, was the little touch before, the goal
Okay,
intentional?
I didn't realize you
And
and
if we get a response,
I didn't realize you guys were
if
on
we get a
speaking
response,
terms.
we're not. I've never messaged him ever. But if I randomly get a response, I'll
Yeah.
let you know.
Okay. We'll read it on the podcast. It'll be our correspondent corner.
Yeah, correspondent corner. Read it on the podcast.
That's funny.
Yeah. I mean, look, great. Like, just great by San Diego. Another really, really good showing. I mean, I I think it's more sustainable than St. Louis's like big breakout first season.
100%. 100%. They're playing the type of soccer that every team, not every team, but like the successful teams around the world are playing. That positional play, very coached style of play, 4-3-3, get the ball out wide, then get it in. Like they're playing that sort of style of play, and that is sustainable as we've seen over the last 5 years in this sport.
Yeah. Once again, clear, cohesive
Yep.
identity. Paying off.
Mm-hmm.
All right. We got to talk about another 4-2 match, Gavin. Sporting Kansas City, the mighty Juggernauts with Golden Boot contender Joveljic on there. They unfortunately fall 2-4 to the plucky team from Dallas, FC
Yeah.
Dallas.
Plucky's a good word for them.
Plucky is a good word for them. I don't really know how to describe them otherwise because they're in a weird spot. Dallas are in 10th place in the West, and it's like on paper, right? On paper, they should be a better team than that.
Mm-hmm.
They've got they've got Musa, they've got guys like Shaq Moore out wide. They have MLS MVP Lucho Acosta on there, right? Like Bernard Kamungo, who like lit up the league for like a hot second, still like kind of a known quantity, still good player. They're in 10th. I don't know. I don't know why. I can't explain it.
Musa was injured earlier in the season, to be fair.
Yes.
Um,
Hmm.
we've complained about the tactics all season. We don't think that there's
We
strong
have,
coaching going on there for sure.
you know,
Um,
Eric Quill was certainly a
and I
hire.
think the supporting cast isn't strong. I think they have strong. Musa's strong.
Hmm.
Acosta is strong.
Hmm. Gets a
Yeah,
brace in this match.
I think Patrickson Delgado's strong. But like other than
Hmm.
that, I'm struggling to think of who on their team is able to really impact games significantly, consistently. Bernard
I
Kamungo maybe, but
remember
he's been out injured for so long. He's just now coming back for this season. He's coming back, so.
you might you might remember this name, right? Sebastian Lletget.
But is he strong?
No, but like he's great depth. Like if you're bringing Sebastian Lletget on as like, a guy to like fill
Well,
in like
yeah.
60 minutes, you're in a great spot.
Yeah, if you have a strong roster,
I still think Sebastian Lletget probably should be coming off the bench for them
yeah.
because I don't know. They've got like Leo Chu, they've got Logan Farrington.
Leo Chu, shut up.
I know he had the incredible season in Seattle and then fell off the face of
Yeah,
the earth. Like
come on now.
I so desperately wanted him to break out, and
He just didn't. Yeah.
he just didn't.
I think it's a supporting cast issue for Dallas, but they got
Yeah.
the win in this one. It was what did you think of the red card? Did you see the red card?
You mean the double yell?
Oh, was it a double yellow? I thought it was a straight red.
It was a double
Okay,
yell.
never
Yeah,
mind.
yeah. Kyrie Shelton
I was
double
gonna
yell.
say if it was a straight, no, it was a straight red. No, it was a double yellow.
What do you mean it
Okay.
was a straight red? Yeah. What are you talking about? He gets a yellow card in the first half.
Sorry, I lost my mind. For some reason, I thought I just saw the ref give a straight red, and I was like, that feels harsh for that tackle. But it
Yeah,
was a second
I
yellow.
bet you saw the red card from the ref. You probably were, looking away, and then you look back and you see the guy holding up a red card, and you're like, "Oh my gosh, the refs are ruining the game."
Exactly. Yeah, you read my mind.
Yeah,
Except that is not what
spot
happened.
on. That in this one specific instance, that is not
No.
what happened. Hey, side note, Shapi Suleimanov goal for SKC. I'm gonna fact check myself, but I would not be surprised if he's the second highest goal scorer for SKC right now.
Oh yeah, it's
which
not
feels
Garcia.
which feels
It's
wrong.
not Shallowy.
It is Shallowy.
There's no way.
Yeah, it's Daniel Shallowy. Suleimanov is tied for third place. It's just straight up confirmation and recency bias is the only reason why we're thinking Suleimanov has that many goals.
Interesting.
It's just because I've seen both of his goals and thought that's a pretty good goal.
Didn't Shallowy get a hat trick this season? Wasn't there a game where he ran up the numbers?
Have, yeah. That might have happened.
It's where they both on like 4 goals.
Yeah. Shallowy's on 5.
Okay. I feel like
Suleimanov is
that's
on
what
2.
happened personally.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. It's not a great supporting cast
No.
in SKC either, for the record. I mean, Joveljic is, sitting on 10 goals, and, he was a great goal scorer for LA Galaxy, but like Shallowy, Suleimanov, Tommy, Garcia, Munoz, Dembe, Leibold, Basong, that's the rest of your scoring cast. Not like
That is so bad.
And I'm gonna tell you right now, I'm looking down the rest of the lineup here. If none of the rest of these guys on the team scored, I wouldn't be surprised.
Oh yeah. They might get like the random goal that bounces their way. Or they make a run on a counter attack and they get a tap in. But I wouldn't be surprised if no goal happens for them this season either.
Yeah, I'm like Kyrie Shelton. Is he scoring this year?
His numbers have been terrible
Probably
for the
not.
past 4 years.
Yeah. Fernandez, is he scoring this year? Probably not. He's played 800 minutes. No goals, no assists. Voloder, no goals, no assists. 900 minutes. Davis.
Isn't Voloder a center back though, or no?
Your center back, believe it or not, some teams have their center backs make late runs, striding up the field to make line breaking passes.
Not this version of SKC. I can tell you that they are
true.
Basics FC, bro.
Yeah. Well, listen, I'm just saying, like, between the players on that team, right, and what the tactics are right now, I don't see Oh my gosh, my cat's doing the thing again.
Uh-oh.
He's letting himself out of the office. I'm watching him stand up on his hind leg and like pull down this door handle. And he's like, I'm ready to leave this room. Goodbye. Letting
Good
himself out.
riddance.
Yeah, basically. He's like, I'm sick of you. The listeners are sick of listening to Sporting Kansas City. You want to move on?
Yeah, congrats to Dallas.
All right.
Both teams, by the way, have been in terrible form over the past like month.
Awful.
So
Awful form. This was a battle of two non-playoff teams. And even with Dallas winning, they are still not a playoff team.
Oh yeah. Which is pretty bad considering.
Yeah, it's not
the
good.
West.
Okay, well, Gavin, I think it's time. I'm gonna let you enjoy your moment. Colorado Rapids 0, Orlando City SC with 1 goal. It's a win.
Dude.
Big W for the LB Lions blog. How's it feel?
It's a brutal game to watch, bro. Absolutely brutal.
Welcome to watching Cincinnati for all year.
We get our goal, 1-0. It's like, yes, let's go. And pretty boring game overall. Colorado didn't really do much. We didn't really do much. And we've been doing this thing in the second half this season where we have room to transition, and we have so much space. And the ball will fall to Angulo, or it'll fall to Ojeda. It'll fall to someone who started the game. And there will be like 2 Orlando City players with them, and it'll be like a 3. If they were to all go for it, it'd be like a 3v4. Like a really good situation to transition, like a 3v3. And they'll just stand there on the ball and then slowly hold it, and recycle possession. And Colorado had to run all the way back and get into their set defense because that's what you have to do, which did suck for Colorado. If I was a Colorado player, I did not want to have to make that run. And I understand we're away to Colorado, Mile High City, always a struggle. But this game could have ended 3-0. They had left so much space for us, and we just chose not to exploit it from like the 65th minute onwards. We were just, I don't know if we were just that dead tired or if we're just that out of shape where we get to the 70th minute and we can't run on offense. But our offensive players just, they weren't transitioning. Even our sub, Ramiro Enrique, he would get the ball and he made like one run and he was like, yeah, that's it. I'm just going to keep the ball. So that was frustrating. I think it could have been more. Colorado weren't great. They weren't too threatening. I think they forced like 1 or 2 good saves out of Glace, but nothing crazy. And yeah, so a very, very standard Orlando City road win where we steal a goal and we lock it down on defense. So that's about it.
Gavin, I'll give you some bonus content as a reward to our listeners for suffering through hearing about Orlando. The cat, he stood up on the desk after he got bored of being held. And he was like trying to figure out if he was long enough or if he could jump far enough. He sat on the edge of the desk and was like reaching one paw out towards like the door handle, thinking like, can I reach the door handle from here? Spoiler alert.
No.
That's like 4.5, 5 feet away. No, he cannot reach the door handle from there. He was stretching the paw out to like try and reach for the door handle, and then like looking down at the floor and looking at the handle, being like, wait, does this distance make sense? Does this line up?
It did not.
It did not, and he just sat there processing for like a solid minute until he eventually realized I need to get off the desk.
Yeah. Any other?
No.
Okay.
No.
Any other content?
No.
Okay.
No bonus content, as the cat has not done anything absurd other than that. I mean, last match to talk about then, RSL, DC United. It's poor DC United. That's it. DC United they're not good. They did not look at any point in time in this match like they were going to be good. I watched the first RSL goal go in, and I was like, that's probably it.
Mm-hmm.
And it
was kind of interesting to see Johnny Russell's name on the score sheet again.
It was.
It's like, oh, hello.
Not just Johnny Russell, but Willie Agata as well.
Oh yeah, true.
And I'm just like, oh my god, are
He didn't
they?
score,
Wait a
but
second,
it was like, whoa.
he did not score. But I was like, oh my, hold on. Houston signed all these guys from Orlando, and RSL are signing all these guys from Sporting
What's
Kansas
going
City.
on here?
Yeah, what's going on here?
DC just leaves so much space in behind their back line
Yeah,
every game, and RSL just exploited it 2-0. And
yeah,
without
it's
Benteke, there's nothing to be afraid of for DC offensively.
nothing, nothing at all.
And that's why I said I think DC could realistically fall into that. We were talking last week that they could be the team that falls into like 14th. I don't think they'll get 15th, but I do think they could fall to
No,
14th.
no, I don't think they fall to 15th. I don't think they fall to 14th. I could see them at
I guess
13th.
Benteke could
And
come back and
honestly,
get them some points.
yeah, he will get them some points. And Atlanta give me no faith right now.
No, yeah. Away to Columbus, away to Miami,
Yeah,
away
just
to DC, which, okay. That should be a winnable game for Atlanta. Away to Toronto,
that should be a winnable game for DC.
that should be a winnable game for both those teams, true. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, and then the biggest test of all for Atlanta. They're home against Chicago. They're screwed.
It's going to be a 7-0
I think it'll be a
win
7-0
for Chicago.
win, yeah.
Chicago only win or lose 7-0.
I guess it was, what, 7-2? But yeah.
Yeah, Nashville was 7-2, and then they won 7-0 at home. Yeah.
All right.
That's that.
I guess we didn't say it earlier, but no wins in the Club World Cup for MLS teams.
What? Stunned, Gavin. Stunned. Shocked. Stupefied. Befuddled.
Inter Miami couldn't beat All Ollie, was it?
Yeah, couldn't beat All Ollie. Messi tried his
his
best. I mean, very, very nearly had it. That said, look, I mean, Miami are if you look at it on paper, Miami are the worst team in the group. So a draw against one of the better, maybe the best side in Egypt, I think, Al Ali's from the Egyptian league, like, that's fine.
Yeah, I don't trust Miami to go out and get the results needed against the other teams. So
no chance. Yeah. I mean, shoot, who else does Miami play?
They have an easy air quotes group compared to some of the other teams they could have gotten, but
see,
it's still
rough. Thinking about that, but it's actually, I think it's actually a pretty competitive group.
Mm-hmm.
Because I mean, Inter Miami and Al Ali, okay, like, that's fine. And then you have Palmeiras, who are a pretty good team.
They're better than Miami for sure.
They're better than Miami. They're better than Al Ali, right? And then you have Porto, and I think Porto are from the Portuguese league, and I think they're one of the better, if not the best team in the Portuguese league. Like, that's a good
They're a
league.
Champions League level team.
Yeah.
And then Palmeiras was in the Club World Cup final the last go around, I'm pretty sure. Didn't they play Liverpool in it in the final?
Smaller Club World Cup.
Smaller, yeah. It was there was still like 4 teams or whatever, but yeah.
Yeah, and I mean I feel like they're a team that competes in Libertadores as well.
Oh yeah, yep.
Down in South America. So like, again, that's a big team. So I like, realistically, I think Al Ali was probably the most winnable match for Miami. I think a win or even a draw against Palmeiras or Porto would be significant.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that would be significant.
I mean, did those two teams play each other yet?
No, just kicked off. Tournament just started.
Yeah, they did. Palmeiras and Porto.
Oh, you meant them? Yeah, they played on this weekend. Yeah, my bad.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. On the same day as such prestigious teams such as Bayern Munich and Auckland City, who that ended as a 10-0 win for Bayern Munich. Which, I mean, look, I like, nothing for nothing, right? Auckland City is not a team that in any iteration of Club World Cup prior to this iteration, where they bring tons and tons and tons of teams in, they would not have been anywhere near Club World Cup. Lots of teams that would have been nowhere near Club World Cup have made Club World Cup. So, I mean, take that for what you will, right? This is not the only blowout that we will see. Like, we will see more blowouts. It will happen.
Some of our teams are probably on the blowout list, by the way.
Yeah. Okay. Who do you think, out of the teams between, say, Seattle, LAFC, and Miami, which team do you think fares the best?
The best?
Best, yeah.
LAFC.
Interesting.
What do you mean by fair's the best?
Like what team when you look at it, you're like,
LAFC.
LAFC?
I think they have the most attacking threat, the best defense, a decent enough midfield. I think Miami, defensively, they're terrible.
Yeah, not good.
Offensively, they're okay. Helps when you got Messi and Suarez. And midfield, they're pretty good. But defense is going to cause them problems in this tournament for sure. And I thought you were going to ask me who is most likely to get blown out, and it's definitely Miami.
Yeah, I mean Miami is definitely.
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. Their defense, yes, but my worry is people are going to be like, "Oh, Messi's on the field. Let's not blow out Messi's team too bad."
It could motivate people to blow out the team.
Maybe they're big Ronaldo fans. I don't know.
Like I could see Palmeiras like
That said,
4-0 them, 4 or 5.
Yeah. Well, I can tell you this. LAFC played Chelsea and lost 2-0 today, but they've got Tunis and Flamengo are their other opponents, and those don't feel like they're going to be blowouts. Seattle Sounders lost to Botafogo 2-1. Their remaining opponents are Atletico Madrid, and you might have heard of this other team, Paris Saint-Germain.
Yeah.
Don't think they're going to be beating PSG.
No.
Who, PSG might have won a little competition recently. You might have heard of. So,
2 Champions League winners going head to head.
Yeah.
CONCACAF and UEFA. Same thing, right?
Equal footing, surely. I mean, the outcome is 50-50 at best. I'm looking at the odds just to see what is like the absolute craziest odd. Paris Saint-Germain versus Botafogo, it is PSG -600.
Wow, I feel like it should be more.
I wonder. Oh, here we go. Manchester City versus Wydad AC -3,000 for Manchester City. Yeah. There we go. It's probably a safe bet. I'm trying to see where Seattle. I want to see Seattle PSG. Where does that one kick off? There's no odds on it yet, but Seattle PSG is one.
They just won't even let you.
No, nothing that far in advance has any odds on it, because that's still a week away. So no odds yet.
All right, cool.
All right, well, hey, once again, we did it. Good job, us listeners. Excellent work for sticking with us all the way to this point in time. We have come in record short length, so good work, Gavin.
Good work.
We also did it. We earned it.
Earned going to bed.
Anyways, hey, in the meantime, just a quick reminder, if you want to follow Gavin on social media, you want to harass him, you want to say, hey, I think your takes are, incredible. Or maybe you're like, hey, I think your takes are not good. Then you can just find Gavin on social media at LionsBlog1. You can also find the podcast on social media at MLS Now Podcast. So with that said, Gavin, listeners, my cat who left the office, didn't want to be here anymore, hates the podcast. You heard it here first. Thank you very much as always, and we will see y'all next time.
Till next time.